Global warming is one of the most pressing environmental issues we face today. It's not just about rising temperatures, it's about how these changes impact our planet in profound ways. For example, since 1880, global average temperature has increased by about 1 degree C, with two-thirds of that warming happening after 1975. This might seem like a small number, but the effects are massive. In fact, the Arctic sea ice extent has decreased by around 8% per decade since 1979. These changes affect everything from wildlife habitats to human food supplies and weather patterns. As we delve deeper into this topic, let's explore how these shifts in temperature and climate can reshape our world as we know it. Global warming is largely driven by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. These actions release massive amounts of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere, trapping heat and causing temperatures to rise. For example, since the Industrial Revolution, carbon dioxide levels have increased by about 50%, reaching concentrations not seen in over 3 million years. This surge is primarily due to human activities, with fossil fuel combustion accounting for approximately 78% of global greenhouse gas emissions. The impact is profound. The last decade was the hottest on record, and we're seeing more extreme weather events than ever before. As we continue this journey, let's dive deeper into how these rising temperatures are affecting our planet's ecosystems and biodiversity. When we talk about global warming, one crucial fact stands out. Since pre-industrial times, Earth's average temperature has risen by approximately 1 degree Celsius. This might not sound like much, but consider this. Over the last century alone, the rate of warming has accelerated dramatically. According to NASA, the decade from 2011 to 2020 was the hottest on record. To put that into perspective, the increase in global temperatures is leading to more frequent and intense heat waves, like the one in Europe in 2003, which claimed over 70,000 lives. As we delve deeper into this topic, it's important to understand how even a small rise in temperature can have massive impacts on our planet's ecosystems and human societies. Sea levels are rising as global temperatures continue to climb. One of the primary reasons for this is the melting of polar ice caps and glaciers around the world. For instance, in Antarctica alone, ice loss has tripled since 2012, contributing significantly to sea level rise. According to NASA, between 1993 and 2018, global sea levels rose by an average of about 2 millimeters per year. This might not seem like much, but over time, it can have devastating effects on coastal communities, leading to increased flooding and erosion. Just look at the Maldives, where rising seas threaten to submerge this beautiful island nation completely in the next few decades. As we continue to see these changes, the urgency for action becomes clearer than ever. Next, let's dive into how global warming is affecting our weather patterns. Global warming is not just about rising temperatures, it's also about the devastating impact on our planet's biodiversity. As temperatures rise, many species are unable to adapt quickly enough to survive in their changing environments. For instance, the Great Barrier Reef has experienced severe coral bleaching events due to warmer waters, leading to a loss of habitat for countless marine species. In fact, studies show that up to 20% of the world's coral reefs have already been destroyed, and another 35% are at risk in the next few decades. This loss not only affects the marine ecosystem, but also impacts human communities that depend on these ecosystems for food and income. As we move forward, it's crucial to understand how interconnected these issues are and what steps we can take to mitigate further damage. Reducing our carbon footprint is crucial in combating global warming. For instance, did you know that if every household in the US replaced just one light bulb with an energy-efficient LED bulb, it would prevent 9 billion pounds of greenhouse gases from entering the atmosphere? That's equivalent to taking nearly 800,000 cars off the road for a year. Industries can also make significant contributions by adopting renewable energy sources and improving efficiency in their operations. For example, Google has committed to operating on 100% carbon-free energy by 2030, setting an important precedent for other tech giants. By making these changes, both individuals and industries can play a vital role in mitigating the effects of global warming. Next, we'll explore how reforestation efforts are helping to absorb more CO2 from our atmosphere. Switching to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power can significantly help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. For instance, in 2019, solar power reduced carbon dioxide emissions by approximately 78 million metric tons in the United States alone. That's equivalent to taking about 9 million cars off the road for a year. Similarly, wind energy has proven effective. In Denmark, which is leading in wind energy adoption, wind turbines provided over 40% of the country's electricity needs in 2020. By embracing these renewable sources, we can lower our reliance on fossil fuels and decrease harmful emissions that contribute to global warming. As we explore more benefits of renewables, let's also look at how they impact local communities and economies around the world. Implementing sustainable practices is crucial in our fight against global warming. For instance, transitioning to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power can significantly reduce carbon emissions. In fact, countries like Costa Rica have managed to generate over 98% of their electricity from renewable sources for extended periods. This not only helps in reducing greenhouse gases, but also promotes economic growth through job creation in the green sector. Another example is sustainable agriculture practices such as crop rotation and reduced tillage, which can help sequester carbon and improve soil health. These methods are already making a difference. For example, in Iowa, farmers using cover crops have seen a 50% increase in soil organic matter over 10 years. By adopting these sustainable practices globally, we can mitigate the effects of global warming and build a more resilient planet. Next, let's explore how international cooperation plays a vital role in this fight. Global warming is not just about rising temperatures, it's also leading to more frequent and severe weather events. For example, in the United States alone, the number of billion-dollar weather disasters has increased from an average of 5 per year in the 1980 to nearly 20 per year since 2010. This surge includes devastating hurricanes like Hurricane Harvey in 2017, which dumped over 60 inches of rain on parts of Texas and caused more than $125 billion in damages. Warmer oceans fuel stronger storms, while hotter air holds more moisture, leading to heavier rainfall and flooding. These extreme weather events are becoming the new norm, putting lives and infrastructure at greater risk every year. As we move forward, understanding these impacts is crucial for preparing communities and reducing future risks. Global warming isn't just about melting ice caps and rising sea levels. It also has profound impacts on human health. One of the most direct ways is through heat waves. For instance, the European heat wave in 2003 led to over 70,000 deaths across the continent. As temperatures continue to rise, these extreme heat events are becoming more frequent and severe. Moreover, warmer climates create ideal conditions for disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes to thrive. The spread of diseases, such as dengue fever and malaria, is directly linked to rising global temperatures. In fact, it's estimated that by 2050, an additional 1 billion people could be at risk from the expansion of mosquito habitats due to climate change. These health impacts are not just theoretical. They're happening now and affecting communities around the world. As we move forward, understanding these risks is crucial for protecting public health in a warming world. Improving energy efficiency in buildings and transportation is one of the most effective ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. For example, retrofitting existing buildings with better insulation and energy-efficient appliances can cut energy use by up to 30%. In fact, the U.S. Department of Energy reports that if every household replaced just 5 incandescent light bulbs with LED ones, it would prevent the emission of over 9 billion pounds of carbon dioxide each year. Similarly, in transportation, electric vehicles produce significantly fewer emissions compared to traditional gasoline cars. For instance, an average EV emits about half as much CO2 as a gas-powered car over its lifetime. By making these changes, we can make substantial strides toward reducing our overall carbon footprint and mitigating the effects of global warming. Next, let's dive into how renewable energy sources are playing a crucial role in this fight. Public transportation is a critical component in our fight against global warming. Did you know that if just one person switches from driving to using public transit daily, they can reduce their annual carbon emissions by up to 800 pounds? That's equivalent to planting over 50 trees each year. In fact, cities like Copenhagen have seen a significant decrease in CO2 emissions due to their extensive and efficient public transportation systems. By promoting the use of buses, trains, and subways, we can dramatically cut down on individual car usage, which is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. For example, New York City's subway system alone saves over 17 million gallons of gasoline each year. As we continue our journey through understanding global warming impacts, let's dive into how sustainable urban planning can further enhance these benefits. Global warming is causing significant disruptions in agriculture worldwide. As temperatures rise, growing seasons are shifting, making it harder for farmers to predict when they can plant and harvest crops. For example, in the United States, warmer winters have led to earlier springs, which can cause plants to bloom too early, leaving them vulnerable to late frosts. Additionally, higher temperatures are creating ideal conditions for pests and diseases that were once controlled. By colder weather, in India, rising temperatures have increased infestations of the maize stalk borer, leading to a 20% loss in corn yields in some regions. These changes not only threaten food security, but also put immense economic pressure on farmers. As we move forward, it's crucial to understand how these shifts affect our ability to feed growing populations around the world. Forests are often called the lungs of our planet because they absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. In fact, forests cover about 31% of Earth's land surface, storing more than 662 billion metric tons of carbon in their biomass alone. Protecting and restoring these vital ecosystems is crucial for combating global warming. For example, the Amazon rainforest absorbs around 2 billion tons of CO2 each year. This makes it a critical tool in our fight against climate change. However, deforestation and degradation are threatening this natural buffer. Restoring degraded forests can significantly increase their capacity to store carbon. By planting more trees and protecting existing ones, we can enhance the planet's ability to absorb CO2 from the atmosphere. Next, let's look at how oceans play a role in regulating our climate. Global warming is making water scarcity a critical issue around the world. As temperatures rise, we see more evaporation and less rainfall in many regions, leading to drought conditions that affect both humans and wildlife. For instance, California has experienced severe droughts over the past decade, with 2014 being one of its driest years on record. This not only impacts agriculture, but also threatens ecosystems and local wildlife. In Africa, water scarcity affects more than 350 million people, and this number is expected to double by 2025 due to climate change. As freshwater resources dwindle, conflicts over access to clean water could become even more frequent. Understanding these impacts helps us see why addressing global warming is so urgent. Next, we'll look at how rising sea levels are affecting coastal communities around the world. Innovative technologies are playing a crucial role in our fight against global warming. For example, carbon capture and storage, CCS, technology can capture up to 90% of CO2 emissions produced from power plants and industrial processes. This is vital because reducing these emissions helps slow down the rate of climate change. Additionally, solar panels have become increasingly efficient. Today's solar cells convert sunlight into electricity at rates as high as 22%, compared to just around 15% a decade ago. These advancements mean we can generate more clean energy with less space and fewer resources. As we continue to develop these technologies, they not only help reduce emissions, but also adapt to the impacts of global warming, like extreme weather events. Next, let's explore how cities are adapting to become more resilient in the face of climate change. Global warming isn't just about rising temperatures. It has profound economic impacts that ripple through industries and jobs worldwide. For instance, in agriculture, a sector critical to many economies, climate change can lead to crop failures due to extreme weather conditions like droughts or floods. According to the World Bank, by 2030, climate change could push over 100 million people into poverty. In the insurance industry, the cost of natural disasters has skyrocketed. Since 1980, the United States alone has experienced more than $1.7 trillion in weather and climate disaster losses. These economic impacts highlight how global warming affects not just our environment, but also our financial stability and job security. As we move forward, understanding these connections will be crucial for developing effective mitigation strategies. Government policies and international agreements play a crucial role in tackling global warming. For instance, the Paris Agreement, signed by nearly every country in 2015, aims to limit global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This agreement has spurred numerous countries to set ambitious emission reduction targets. In fact, as of 2023, over 70 countries have committed to achieving net zero emissions by mid-century. These commitments are essential because they drive technological innovation and investment in renewable energy sources like wind and solar power. For example, Germany's Energiewende policy has led to a significant increase in renewables, with renewables accounting for about 46% of electricity consumption in 2021. As we see the impact of these policies, it becomes clear that international cooperation is vital for addressing global warming effectively. Next, let's explore how individual actions can complement these large-scale efforts. As we wrap up our journey through the impact of global warming on our planet, it's crucial to remember that each one of us has the power to make a difference. For example, switching from plastic bags to reusable ones can reduce plastic waste by 70%, significantly lowering carbon emissions in the process. Similarly, adopting energy-efficient appliances can cut household electricity use by up to 30%. These small changes add up and collectively have a massive impact on reducing our global carbon footprint. It's not just about saving the planet, it's about ensuring a sustainable future for generations to come. So let's take these insights with us as we continue to explore more ways to combat climate change in the next segment, where we'll dive into innovative technologies and policies that are shaping our fight against global warming. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the impacts of global warming. It's incredible to think that just in the last century, Earth's average temperature has risen by about 1 degree C, which might seem small, but it's causing major changes like melting ice caps and rising sea levels. For instance, the Arctic ice is shrinking at a rate of almost 13% per decade. If we continue on this path, the effects will only get worse. I really hope you found this video informative and eye-opening. Your thoughts and comments are super valuable to me and other viewers, so please share your insights below. Let's keep the conversation going and spread awareness about what we can do to help our planet. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe for more content on climate change and environmental issues. See you in the next one.